Hi guys, happy Wednesday or happy Thursday. You know that I record these videos a day in advance, which means that for me, today is Taco Tuesday, and I'm gonna make that guy in the back make me some tacos. I know that you're not tired of hearing me say this yet, so I want to remind you to do 4 Dreambox lessons every week and make sure that you're also keeping up with the packets, the countdowns. We're supposed to take attendance now. So I will be marking whether or not you are responding to the ed puzzles and answering those questions. And if you're doing Dreambox, that's how I'll be taking attendance. If you guys are not doing this, then we're going to start to reach out and make sure that everything's okay with you and your family. So let's go ahead and close this video. Say goodbye to my face. Say goodbye to that goofy mustache. Do you want to wave? There he is. He cut his own hair. Okay, let's start going over some math. So, remember to find the packets. We're going to go click on classwork. The ed puzzles may start to build up, but you'll just need to scroll down and you'll be able to find that review packet. So I'm clicking on the review packet for you guys, and we are going to review the answers from week 18. So, all right, so here's the answer for number 1, except there's something really wrong with this problem right now. If you submitted this on a test or a quiz, I would feel bad about marking you wrong, but I might take half a point off. This is asking for unit rate, and I wrote 60. Unit rates have units. So this is 60 miles per hour, or you could write per 1 hour right there if you wanted to. That's how we're going to make this answer perfect. Then in the explanation, this guy that's driving is definitely going to make it on time because he can go 75 miles in 1.25 hours. 1.25 hours is also 75 minutes. Let's go ahead and look at number 2. Here are your answers for number 2 and 3. Go ahead and click pause so that way you can get them down and check your work. Also, if you have questions, remember to pop into that Google Hangouts and ask me. All right, my computer pen is not going to let me write this in here nice and neat. The answer for this one is a +2, so that means it would go in the first one. This one is also a +2, so that would go in the first one. And the other box that goes in the first one is this one. This one is also a +2. The 3 expressions left are going to be -2, -2, and -2, so those are all going to go into this box. Again, if you need help, pop into the Google chat, spend some time to look at this problem, press pause, and when you're ready, go ahead and press play and we'll work on week 17 together. All right, for number 1, I'm not going to help you all too much. The only thing that I will point out is that the west on the number line has negative numbers there. So negative numbers means that anywhere that you see west, like number 1, you're going to write that as a -4. Number 2 says 3 miles east, or action number 2 says 3 miles east, so that's going to be like a +3. So I'm going to let you be in charge of that one, but I do have a question for you to answer in the ed puzzle. My question for you is, what is the difference between an expression and an equation? What is the difference between an expression and an equation? All right, guys, number 2. I'm expecting that everyone is reading each of these word problems at least 2 times. Whenever we do a word problem in class, I always have you read the problems 2 times. The first time we're just seeing what's going on in the problem, and the second time we're trying to figure out how we're going to attack or figure out the problem. If you need to read it more than twice, that's okay too. Number 2 is about a proportional relationship. So there are 3 things that make a proportional relationship. You might want to write these down. I'm not going to answer problem 2 for you. I'm just going to talk about proportional relationships. You also have these in your notes from the beginning of the year. Proportional relationships have a constant rate, so they look like straight lines on a graph. They start at the point 0, 0, and they are also increasing. Proportional relationships have a constant rate, so they look like a straight line on a graph. They start at 0, 0, and they are also increasing. Number 3, it's weird that this is showing up on a 7th grade review packet because there are some things on this that we don't really go over until you guys are in 8th grade, but we can start looking at this together. 8 to the power of 0. Well, let's see. If we think about 8 to the power of 2, that's going to be 8 times 8. If we think of 8 to the power of 1, That's just going to be 1/8. Even if we go back and we think about 8 to the power of 3, that's going to be 8 times 8 times 8. So 8 to the power of nothing. Each time we're kind of like dividing by 8. So divide by 8, divide by 8, divide by 8. What's 8 divided by 8? 1. So 8 to the power of 0 is 1, and your calculator would not give you an error message. Let's talk about cookies, or even better, pizza. You have 0 slices of pizza to give to 5 people. How much pizza does each person get? 0 slices. Not a problem. So the first part and the second part are okay in Sarah's calculator. For the third part, you have 25 slices of pizza to give to 0 people. That makes no sense. Who has the 25 slices if there's 0 people? So this one would definitely give you an error message. This right here, there's a very teeny tiny pi as an exponent. This one would not give you a error message. This would just be a really long, weird, ugly number. But this last one would also give you an error message. When you have a negative exponent, for example, if we had 3 to the negative 2, we can make this a positive exponent by writing it in the denominator. So this would say 1 over 3 to the positive 2. So to make exponents positive, you just kind of flip them into the opposite spot on a fraction. So numerators go to the denominators, not denominators go to the numerators. 0 to the negative 1, we want to make this positive. So I'm going to put 1 over 0 to the positive 1. Anything to the power of 1 is just whatever it started as. So now this just says 1 divided by 0. What's 1 slice of pizza divided by 0 people? That doesn't make any sense at all. So those are the two that would give you an error message. You are not allowed to divide by 0. You can even ask Siri, and Siri is not okay with it. When you're ready, I'll get started with you guys on the next problems. You are on your own for number 4. Let's look at number 5. I'm going to help you get started, but not that much. So we can see from the graph that 1 pound of grass seed is going to give us 125 square footage of grass. So we know right away that the numbers 1 and then 125, this describes the proportional relationship that we have on the graph. So we know that 1 pound of grass seed will give us 125 square footage of grass that you are planting. Your dog is Chunkzilla is chewing on things, guys, so that means that I have to get going. But before I go, I'm going to ask you one more question. What are the 3 things that make a proportional relationship? I talked about it in this video and I told you to write it down. What are the 3 things that make a proportional relationship? All right, your homework. Let's make as much background noise as possible while I'm filming the video, huh? Your homework for next Monday or Tuesday is to do week 17, all of the questions. So that's numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And of course, you're doing Dreambox. How many lessons are you doing? 4. All right, guys, I'll talk to you later. I hope you have a wonderful day. Pop into the Google chat if you have any questions for me.